Okay, hey, so welcome to TV Squad. This is a new show here at Geek Essentials, also under the new banner of Liverpool Online and everything like that. And what we're doing is that we have a bunch of squad shows. We focus on Movie Squad, we're focusing on games with Dragon Squad, but TV Squad is going to become our new favorite because we have a different panel of experts that watch TV from not just today, but through time. I am your host, Chase, and I'm sitting next to me is my good friend,
Phil Beal. Good to see you, Chase, and everybody else.
We need the old school in the house.
We do.
And everything like that. And then, we
You're
decided
never
not
going
to
to shut
be...
up about that, are you?
I'm never.
No.
And so then
Those being not the
All
oldest.
right, stop. You're interrupting my interruption. But then we got the lovely Faye next to us.
Hi.
Hey, right?
Hi.
Yeah, exactly. You know what? Girls watch TV too, and everything like
Can
that.
you believe it?
Whoa.
Amazing.
Whoa, do the meet cute. Anyway, then next to her is Sean.
Hey.
It's me again.
No, Sean really surprised us last week. When he was talking about the Avengers.
I know.
That,
In
blew
depth.
my mind. And so let's see what he comes up with this week.
Yeah.
But because what we're going to do is we're going to begin with old school telly. Right? So old school telly, I mean, this is usually... Now, this is when I thought that the young bloods wouldn't even know about it. And Sean knew all about the Avengers.
He taught us a
So, well, here we go again.
I mean, I did go to film and TV school in uni, so
Yeah.
I would have to check out the older stuff as well.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
So anyway, this week we're going to be talking about The Prisoner.
Classic.
And now what's great about The Prisoner is because we were trying to tell Faye a little bit about it.
It is hard to describe, isn't it?
It is very hard to describe the show. Starring the fantastic Patrick McGowan, but Sean tried to explain that he resigned right at the opening of the show.
Show. I'm sorry. Yes.
Thanks.
Number 6 actually resigns.
Thanks, Phil.
I'm
So
not a number.
though.
I am a free man.
Yes.
yeah. So he resigns at the opening of the show,
Yes.
and he wakes up in the prisoner village out in Port Marion. And becomes number 6. And we never really hear what his name is throughout the show. But
No, never.
a lot of speculation has been that Patrick McGowan had did the Danger Man before the show. Do you remember
That's right.
Danger Man?
I do.
And he was like a secret super spy kind of thing.
That's
like
right,
that.
that's right.
So when he rides up in that little car, that little roadster, it
Yeah.
seemed like, Danger Man is back and stuff like that. But no, he's not. Danger Man is kidnapped and he wakes up in this prisoner village. Now, Phil, what did you think about Port Marion, the village?
Narrative thread. It's a really kind of surreal kind of place. It looks out of place altogether.
It had those circular umbrellas, which was very hypnotic.
It's
weren't they?
Italianate. It is in design, I would say.
Oh yeah,
Did you
in
use the word
design.
Italianate?
Yeah, I said before the guy who made it, I realised I should have probably got his name for this, but he wanted it to be based on sort of old rural Italian villages.
Yeah,
Wow.
it's exactly how it goes, really, isn't it?
Now the only thing
The courtyard is a giant human-sized chessboard.
that's true.
Yeah.
And they also have giant white balloons.
Well, you've
Which you
skipped-
can actually buy in the prisoner shop. They have in where number 6 was staying. They actually have turned it into the prisoner, the shop.
Oh,
Yeah, but you can't get inside that balloon, though, can you?
and are they deadly?
Well, hopefully
are they
not. Christ.
deadly?
But you can actually buy a balloon to blow up.
It's actually quite spooky, though. It's quite a spooky element.
Oh yeah,
So
the
these
noise it
balloons-
makes.
Yeah.
I can't remember
If
what
you
they
try
based it
to
off now.
escape-
They got it off on several different animals.
Right.
Yeah, so if you try
well
to
done.
escape,
Well
right,
done.
because it's on an island, so if you try to escape, the balloons just come out of nowhere and
Man-sized balloons or
they
bigger.
they absorb you, and all you see is like the face inside the balloon.
That's right, that's right.
It's just someone trying to breathe through a
Damn.
plastic bag. It's like
It actually is quite scary. I know it sounds pretty pathetic, but it is really.
Oh no!
actually-
Of course,
it's-
people will.
it's-
I mean, you got people who say, "Oh, I used to hide behind my couch and
Yeah,
watching
it's
Doctor Who or
effective.
something." But yeah,
Yeah, it
really
was scarier
effective.
than a Dalek. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah. Yeah.
And everything. But I think there was only it was only one season though, wasn't it? Or how many seasons was
yes,
it?
only one season.
And everything. So I mean,
Also, weird fact about it: all of other than the first and last 2 episodes, all of them were taken out of order.
Oh, I didn't know that. Is that right?
I'm not
Really?
sure why they did that in the end. It's probably-
other than the last two though.
Yeah.
the first one obviously is chronological, and then the last
Yeah.
2 are chronological. But all in between that, they aren't chronological.
Right,
They're all taken
right.
out of sequence.
I thought it was a style setter. I thought it was a trend setter, without a doubt. So I thought it set a lot of standards. A very high bar.
It's a weird psychological
Sort of spy thriller almost.
But with a psychedelic edge.
Oh,
some.
Okay.
Would you be interested in checking that out?
Kind of like I only know briefly of this because of like references in The Simpsons. Like I know,
Yeah,
like
that's how I first saw
how
it as
I know
well.
it. Sorry, everyone.
We were
but-
talking about this last week. How we see the references before we actually see the shows.
Sorry, but that's how
If
I
it's
know.
not
it
in The
is.
Simpsons. It's not.
Also,
anything.
that's actually Patrick McGowan in the doing number 6 again in The
Fantastic,
Simpsons.
Yeah.
How he got him to parody the character, I don't know.
Absolutely fantastic.
So I mean, like, because it was a short season, did the ending disappoint you, Phil?
Yeah.
Maybe without saying what the ending was. Did it
Yeah.
God, the ending was so weird. I don't want to spoil it for anyone, but it was. I mean, you thought the rest of it was weird. The ending gets even weirder somehow.
Yeah. I can't add any more than that. Yeah, it did. That's right.
It's a little bit more than just saying, "Did the prisoner escape?" It's like, what the hell?
It was also how he outwitted them as well. In each time they tried to get inside his brain. Sometimes literally.
Yeah. Do not get inside Patrick McGowan's brain. It'd be like trying to get inside Spock's brain, which was a bit important show at the time. But I mean, the prisoner. Where can the prisoner be seen now?
BritBox. If you subscribe to BritBox, or subscribe to BritBox streaming service.
Yeah, maybe Now TV.
Yeah,
I
you
wish
could-
BritBox gave us money. Because Sean, the way he advertises BritBox, he makes me want to buy it.
But yeah, I mean, you've got the Prisoner, you've got the Avengers, you've got all of old Doctor Who on there. It's like so much you can watch.
Tomorrow People?
I don't know.
Then you don't know anything.
If that was a British show,
It
from
is a British show.
BBC
Yeah.
or ITV.
It was a kids show, I think.
Yeah,
wasn't
but
it?
I think it was ITV though, wasn't
I'm
it?
not sure.
Because I'm remembering that, those triangles. Anyway.
Yeah, Grange Hill's on there now. All of Grange Hill. So
Oh
I know
my
you
God,
guys-
Grange Hill. Isn't that where Ant and Dec came from?
No idea. I haven't
think
seen
so.
it yet.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
They were.
Is
They
it?
were. They
Again,
were.
a kids show, but they were.
Oh no,
they were
no,
teenagers,
no,
I
no!
think it
Biker
was.
Grove.
Oh, right,
How do you
okay.
guys not know this?
Well, I was too old. I was at work.
I was too young.
I wasn't even born yet, so
I was not even here,
I didn't
but I know about Biker Grove.
Beta.
Yeah, exactly. What did PJ and Duncan
That was it. Yeah, that was it. Yeah.
and everything.
Well,
All right.
we're not here for that. Let's.
All right, Larry, we're not here for that. So let's move over to the U.S. because that was like old school UK telly. But in the U.S., we moving. It's not exactly like old school, but it's like, when we did The Wire last week, it was like, something like, for U.S. because we're here in Britain. So
At least 20 years old or something.
no,
Or,
no,
yeah,
no,
15.
No. It's recent. It's like last year, 2 years ago. Lovecraft Country.
Oh right. Okay. Yeah. Amazing.
Freaking hell, man! Now, I mean, Phil was the only one who read the memo and said, "I'll go and check out this show." I know, Faye's like, nobody gave me a memo. Nobody gave me a memo.
I only found out today.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm in the middle of binging like a lot of other shit. So you're
I'm
piling
binging other shit.
you're really piling it on for me. So
Okay. So anyway,
It's a
Lovecraft
tough life,
Country.
innit?
Now,
you haven't finished watching Arcane, so don't you fucking
all
try and
right,
tell us anything.
all right, you. All right. So, Phil, educate the youngsters on Lovecraft Country from what you know of, and then I'll fill in the gaps.
Yeah. Okay. So it reminded me in terms of the way it switches itself during the first episode of something like, what was that Tarantino movie with George Clooney in it, where it started off as a gangster kind of
from
like
Dusk Till
From
Dawn.
Dusk Till Dawn.
Dust Till Dawn,
Where they're vampires?
Yeah. So it reminded me of that in a sense, because it starts
Yeah.
starts you off in one genre, and you think, I've got a Jim Crow movie going on in the southern states here, and then all of a sudden
you got these
switches-
vampire bats
Oh,
jumping on people.
whoa, that I wasn't expecting that.
Oh,
Yeah.
you better get out of town before sunset.
Heck yeah. So and the effects are at top quality, and it was absolutely engrossing. I thought, yeah.
I mean, and like the thing about it is the reason why I say, hey, Phil, tell us about it, because this was like a black show, and I can say that proudly. Misha Green, who I know, who wrote and produced this show.
No way, really? You know the guy?
Yeah, well, no, it's a girl.
girl. Sorry, okay.
Back in the day.
Yeah.
Anyway, the whole point is that like we got a sci-fi horror, thriller. I'm not even time travel, space trippy thing, all in one with
Amazing.
Lovecraft Country.
Yeah, amazing.
Now it's based upon like H.P. Lovecraft stories.
Which, of course, in itself is quite fascinating. And Lovecraft Country actually is the eastern states, believe it or not. It's sort of around the Boston area, Massachusetts. That's apparently where he centered most of his work. But he's an incredible character in his own right.
Yeah, but it was like it's starring the fantastic Jonathan Majors. Now we know who Jonathan Majors is now, but back then he only probably did the Five Bloods and some little parts and everything. But now he's gonna be Kang in the MCU and everything in the new Ant-Man movie. But he was the lead in this show.
Amazing guy.
Yeah, it's fantastic. Anyway, so he comes home from the war and everything, and freaky stuff is happening. And there's like you said about the period piece, because I think it's like the 50s around the Emmett Till killing.
Yeah, and there's a link into the Green Book.
Yes, the Green. Oh my God, that's true. Yes,
absolutely, because his uncle he's actually carrying out that role of going out
going
into
around
the States.
Telling black people where they could stay safely and stuff like that,
looking for safe havens
and everything. And but what I want to hit is because we don't break it down, but we also hope to offer full breakdowns of these shows. Just letting people know, it's as we are building this channel, we're hoping to have full breakdowns of these TV shows on as we move into our Patreon channel and everything like that.
Cool.
But I got to talk about. Now, I know you only saw a couple episodes.
I'm about 4 or 5 in, so...
Okay, so did you see the episode where the woman, was like a warrior princess?
No.
On an island full of other, female warriors?
Hang on, where they discovered that girl who was a female warrior?
Yeah, and then so it's kind of so this is...
She's like a goddess, wasn't she?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But this is supposed to be based on a true story about,
Wow.
Did you know where the name California came from?
No.
So, now this is fascinating to me because I'm how come this is not history for everyone else? So the name California comes from an empress from Mali in Africa named Califia, Empress Califia. And what she did was, in the 15th century, is that she came, because they were seafarers, she came over to the western side of what was just the New World then, right? And brought a crew of female warriors, right? And they, it was just them for, a period of time in this California edge. And then the Spanish conquistadors came and tried to wipe them out, or really tried to impregnate them, right? Right? And there's only kind of one book called Esplanadia where you can find these stories in, but it wiped them out, or not we'll kill you, but wipe them out. Anyway, but point is,
Fascinating.
If this happened in the 15th century, right before the 16th century, where slavery, became a big thing, right? That is only proof that Africans were traveling sooner than slavery was showing.
Than Columbus.
Right, than Columbus. So that's what's really was good. This show had a lot of stuff like that. It had that episode with the Califia. It also had the Tulsa episode, which you probably didn't see because that was around the end, where they, break down, because you've heard of Black Wall Street.
Yeah, I have heard of that.
Yeah, so they have a whole episode on that, which is just powerful stuff. And why they didn't get a season 2?
Yeah, it's been cancelled, hasn't it? I can't believe it.
But it's just that it just had a lot of fantastic stuff in it.
Well,
hopefully you'll be inspired to check this out. And everything. It won't be on BritBox.
Hell no.
It probably is on Amazon.
It's on Now TV. It's on Now TV.
Now TV.
Now TV, yeah.
Ooh,
It's on Now TV.
Yep, it is,
There we go.
Ooh.
Yeah, so there you go.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Lovecraft Country,
Well
starring
worth it.
Jonathan Majors. Definitely well worth the watch.
Superb.
Right, so moving on to our Superhero Squad section.
Okay, well,
Here we go.
okay.
I know
Here
everybody
we
was
go.
like, "Oh, he's gonna ruin it." All right. So, firstly, I just have to go back to Superman and Lois just
Of course.
for one quick second, because when we did the show last week, the big reveal didn't happen, right? So we, we've been leading up in season 2 that Doomsday is coming. And we're like, we've seen Doomsday in the movies. We've seen Doomsday in the comics. We're thinking, oh, I don't know if I really want to see Doomsday, right?
Let's say someone else for a change.
Well, guess what?
What?
It's not Doomsday.
What?
Yeah. So Clark is having all these headaches, right? Every time this creature trying to bust through the wall, it's like it's trying to break through reality into this reality. He's going mad and everything like that. You know, he's like, what's happening? Why is it affecting him so hard? Doomsday didn't affect him so hard like that. Why is it affecting him so hard? So John Henry Irons, the Steel guy, he goes to fight the who he thinks is Doomsday, and then he cracks his armor shed, and it's Clark.
What?
Oh, no.
What?
It's bizarre.
You just had to, didn't you?
Come on, Sean. Who's bizarre?
Bizarro.
Bizarro!
Does he actually look like the hunched over, ugly looking Bizarro this time, or is he just another Clark cone?
You know, he got like this chalk white, like face, these black streaks and stuff like that, and everything. But he's definitely Bizarro. I can't wait for this week and everything, so I couldn't help but hit that one.
Okay.
Now, the other one I had to hit was last week we were talking about Boba Fett, and we were having a debate about whether it's good or not. But it wasn't good. Boba Fett is like a kind of series that's not happening.
Well, I said I was enjoying it.
You were enjoying it, and I wasn't. And then came, what is it, episode 5?
Yeah, I think so.
Episode 5 chose to totally ignore Boba Fett.
Basically, yeah.
And bring us back the Mandalorian. Whoa. Without Grogu, the Mandalorian took over the whole of Boba Fett's episode. He kicked Sirius Prime.
Wow, really?
Right? We got to see what happened to him after Grogu left. He had no ship, so he went back to the woman to make him a new ship. He got like kind of like Starfighter ship.
Oh god, yes, apparently I was looking it up just then. Apparently it is actually meant to be the exact same one young Anakin was using in that fight. Yeah. And the fact that they brought it back, like a big reference from the prequels, like
this is what the show does, isn't it?
I do love it when they reference the Clone Wars or the prequels in general.
Was it smoothly done though? I haven't watched it. Was it smoothly done?
Yeah.
Was it well done? Because sometimes it grates, doesn't it?
Well, no, but it was well done.
Doing it for the sake of it sometimes.
Oh no, it was well. It was well. I mean, it was all in pieces. Obviously, it wasn't. Even when it was finished, it still looked a bit junky.
They spent a long time building it, so that way you wouldn't automatically see it. Right. But then when it was done,
fuck yeah, right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
I mean, I just love the fact that the prequels looked more futuristic than the actual ones that took. That are supposed to be taking place in modern day. And
then he goes back to the Lady Armorer and everything, but then he has to reveal that he removed his helmet, which is against the law and everything.
Against their creed.
Yeah. So now
which kind of annoys me. I mean, because like it felt like he was growing more. Like by the end of season 2, he's like he didn't care anymore. He was finally growing out of this whole.
He did care, but he took it off for Grogu.
Yeah,
he took it off
exactly, and now he's got to go through a whole thing where he doesn't do it anymore.
It was tender, man. And then
that's what I mean. It's like they've taken that away now. The 10 moment.
Yeah. So then Fennec, played by the lovely Ming-Na Wen, shows up, and she's like, because she told Boba that I could get her some muscle, and then she shows up and she like tries to give him money. He said we need help. He's like, I'll do it for free, but I got to go see my kid. So, question before we move on: is Mandalorian going to be in this next episode, or are they going to just pick it up with Mandalorian 3?
That's hard to say. It could go one of two ways. Bro. I mean, possibly they'll want to save all that other stuff for Mandalorian season 3. This was just like a big teaser. But he
says I'll come, but I have to go see Grogu first.
It's possible they'll jump to the future where he's come back.
Yeah.
And then they'll show that stuff in Mandalorian season 3, because obviously the stuff that happened to Boba Fett after the events of Return of the Jedi got shown in this one, and then obviously it's led up to the point where he met with Ming-Na Wen's character.
Yeah.
what was her name again?
Fennec Shand.
Fennec, yeah.
Yeah.
And so they're probably going to do something similar where when it gets to Mandalorian season 3, we see what happens between those events.
Good point. Good point. And that is Favreau. And
it's kind of becoming like the Arrowverse, where like if you miss it all when it comes out, you're gonna have to look at it like a list of which order you watch stuff in.
Yeah. No, that's true. That's true.
Like you're gonna have to watch all of Mandalorian season 2, then the Book of Boba Fett, and then Mandalorian season 3, just in case you.
Well, skip the first 4 episodes of the Book of Boba Fett.
Right. Oh, fuck off.
Anyway, let's go to the show I wanted to talk about last week. Peacemaker. I'm trying to do the dance, but I can't.
Oh yeah.
I was wondering what you're trying to do.
Do you know the dance though?
I know the dance.
We
Yeah.
we got to at least pretend to do the dance or something like that.
Beautiful intro.
Yeah.
Never seen anything like it, but then this is James Gunn, so.
Oh my God.
Beautiful.
First of all, James Gunn has proven himself to be the master. There's no contenders.
The master of soundtracks in film.
You know, there was on LinkedIn there was a woman who's a commissioner, right, at HBO, and she's trying to take credit and saying that like I'm glad I picked this show. Anyway, I'm glad you picked this show too. And then I had to make a comment about how original this show as a superhero show is, because it's not taking itself seriously. It's not taking itself like ridiculously. James Gunn has just went totally
Close,
far
but
right.
not
You know what I mean?
Close to ridiculous, but not quite.
No, but
just
you know what I
the
mean.
right amount.
It's not like, oh, it's a superhero show, so let's bring up the camp. Let's make it ridiculous. This show is totally irreverent. It's not over, but like we just hit a milestone in the show and everything. Because for people who've been watching and loving it, it's like we got this alien invasion from these butterfly creatures, and we're like really kind of like, how in the hell, if they've taken over the world as they show us a map, right? How the hell is Peacemaker going to take these guys out? But like in that last episode with his X-ray vision, Peacemaker's just like,
yeah, makes it look so easy.
You know what I mean? Give that brother a gun. Peace mode. I mean,
he's like all Schwarzenegger in Commando, where he's just standing still and
yeah.
the whole army can't seem to hit him, and he's basically shooting like that.
Oh yeah, and what did he do?
someone.
He just got stabbed in the leg and stuff like that. Ooh, or he shot in the leg with a Jesus
Also,
Christ.
who else thought that gorilla was? Have you seen it?
Yeah, I've seen clips of it.
Who else thought that gorilla was Grodd?
Well, I didn't think it was Grodd, but
Definitely
I
a
thought,
reference at least.
Yeah, it was a reference to Grodd. I knew it had to come back. I just didn't know it would come back like this. So the gorilla was possessed by a butterfly as well, and everything like that. And so they have a gorilla fight. Gorilla doing kung fu. Gorilla kung fu. Don't die. I mean, oh, dude, you got to watch this.
I like John. Just to pronounce it Cena.
Yeah,
John
Cena. Yeah, John Cena. Yeah,
I like him. Anyway.
I know he's a big fan of blockers.
Oh God, yeah.
Also known as cock blockers.
Yeah.
I love how you said, "Hey, is that the guy from Blockers?" No, he's from cock blockers.
Also, that nectar stuff that the butterflies eat, it reminds me so much of caramel.
Oh, I know.
Like
but
like in a banoffee pie or something.
I know. But what's worse is the fact that so they because they went into the plant where they're making the stuff. But when we see them, like we see the reveal is that they're spitting it out. So I'm like, I mean, what is it doing? You know? Well, actually, when they spit it out, it's kind of black or green. But when it goes in, it's yellow. So that's a thought.
I must have missed that. I didn't see them do
No.
it.
You know, like when Mern and the family did it, they keep spitting it out into the bowl.
No, they use the tongues to suck it up.
Is that what they're doing?
Yeah.
I don't think so. But okay. That's even worse. I'm glad I don't. I'm glad I got one eye.
You never see like moths and butterflies the way they.
No, I'm doing stuff. I can't.
The way they've got the.
So cute though.
They've got the tongue that comes out and goes straight into a into a flower.
All right. That's
nectar.
called a proboscis, and stop talking about it.
Correct.
I've taken science.
Very good.
That's another weakness of Chase.
Yes, I don't know. Stop it. Stop. Anyway, that's worse than Sinead's ASMR. So either way we look at it is that yeah, I know she can hear me. So Sean, we talked about this. What do you think happened at the end of that episode when
puts the X-ray.
the girl picks on the helmet and she sees that Mern?
First of all, I think we should have all their names written down so we can't.
I know.
Stop
All right. I don't remember. Danielle Brooks is a real name, so anyway. But so she you know.
I mean, I knew what was going to happen the moment she put it on.
Of course. But then she puts on his
X-ray vision helmet,
and she can see that
she actually looks really cool in the helmet. I'm just
in
saying.
his head. Oh, right. So he's been possessed. And we knew, the audience, for an episode, you know. So now when he sees that she can see him, then he comes after her, and so she chases her out of the house. Now we know that her teammates are far away, right? And so we're like, oh my God, you know what I mean? He attacks her. He got her on the ground, and then freaking gun cuts.
See, here's what I was saying to you before, though.
I still love you, Gun. You best.
Here's what I don't even think he wrote and directed this one.
He wrote every episode.
Okay,
he didn't direct every
okay.
episode.
Sorry, I'm thinking of another show. But it's like I was saying to you before. If she was going to die, they would have made that the cliffhanger. They wouldn't wait until the next episode to do it right at the beginning because, I don't know, for main character deaths, they just don't do that. I mean, if they did, it'd definitely be a first.
Who's they?
Yeah, who's they?
TV shows, people.
No. You got. Would you admit?
Game of Thrones?
I don't think even they opens up with a main character death
because he wants you to come back. Right? So you're going to come back just to see if she dies or not. Now, nobody wants her to die, right? She's a very popular character. Nobody wants her to die. But then the thing about it is, James, if you kill her, where's my camera? Because I'm looking at the wrong one. James, if you kill her, man, swear to God. Now, there's a big reveal because she's also been revealed from the beginning that she's Amanda Waller's daughter. And none of the other characters know that. And
they talk so much shit about
but Sean, Amanda Waller gave her a mission, and her mission was to put Peacemaker's diary into his house so he could find it, and she completed that mission. There's absolutely no need for her anymore, except for the fact that we love her.
Oh, we love her.
Exactly.
Just to say, I don't care.
That's what I'm trying to tell you, bro. I hate you, Gun, and love you at the same time. It's like my marriage. That's over. So either way you look at it, that's Peacemaker. Come back next week to find out how torn apart
we'll see.
So I finally gotta let
that's my homework this week.
Yeah, I gotta finally let Faye talk because Faye's been waiting all day for this.
Absolutely.
Superhero Squad, the boys.
Oh yes.
See,
I'm so excited. I absolutely adore this show.
Tell us how you love the comics.
Oh, I've read all the comics. I'm a little bit of a nerd for the boys. I just love the fact that it's a comic series about superheroes, but they're not particularly good people.
Not
and
at all.
A lot of stuff happens that I don't think I can say on YouTube.
A little bit.
Some of it, but not all of it.
Well. We are speculating
Yes.
because we do know that this is season 3. We do know that we're getting Soldier Boy played by Jensen Ackles.
Oh yeah.
But we also heard rumors that this is going to be Herogasm.
And I am so excited for this because I
And
want to
you've
see
read
what they
Herogasm.
do. Yes.
I've read Herogasm.
Could you explain a bit more about this for people who
Please.
might not know?
I'd rather you explain it to me.
What is
If I explain
Herogasm?
it, it'll just sound weird.
So I'll do it, right?
Yeah, because it's Herogasm.
So basically, Herogasm is basically where all the superheroes go off on this fake mission.
Team superheroes, the sidekicks.
Oh, yeah, main superheroes, isn't it?
No, the sidekicks. It's mainly like the sidekicks and the...
Herogasm, no, it's all like the main superheroes go off on this holiday, but it's like it's made out to be this big event in space where they're going to save the Earth, but it's not. They just go to this hotel where basically it is just orgies and sex and drugs and everything you can think of is happening at this party.
We did see a short clip of it in the first episode, didn't we?
Yeah.
Of the place.
But
is this like a spin-off of the comic, or is it?
So it was because comics are usually broken down into chapters like books.
Yeah.
You know, like what they like to do on the Flash. So there was like a whole chapter miniseries of Herogasm.
Okay.
And reason why I said about the sidekicks, because even though that did happen with the heroes, it gave us, it opened up the world.
Yeah.
Right, so it showed us how you had the young teams. So like the Teen Titans and and all that kind of stuff. So but they were even the worst kind of heroes because they were more uncontrollable. Because you got to understand that the heroes are all on drugs, right? So
They're
the
not
government.
particularly good people.
So the government has this drug called Compound V, right? That they kind of extracted from the Homelander, the main Superman type of guy, and injected babies, right? So that way they would grow up to become heroes or villains, but mainly heroes that were psychotic. And I mean,
well, it's not just, to be honest, it's not just that, because one thing about this universe is more than being a hero, it's about the publicity.
well, yeah,
more than-
exactly. It is about celebrity.
It's all about that.
yeah.
Nobody even cares if they're saving lives. Really, they just want them to be there for to make money off them and stuff.
Kind of like what you said about A-Train, run through the
Exactly.
the guy's girlfriend and stuff.
Want to
like
make
that.
a big stunt about apologizing in public and shit.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
is it
yeah.
18 plus this hero?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
Herogasm was, but the point is because this is an Amazon show, isn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah,
they
yeah.
actually, to be fair on them, the first season was quite tame compared to the second one,
Yeah.
I think. But they got away with a lot more stuff in season 2. They have a lot more freedom.
Yeah, but
Oh,
you
yeah.
read the comics.
Oh god, they will never be able to do some of the
Oh,
stuff.
yeah,
So I
exactly,
mean,
yeah.
I was telling Sean
Yeah.
about the
I need to get into these comics.
the induction of Starlight into the Seven.
Oh yeah.
So in that fashion, this is very raunchy book. So when it first came out, it was like, oh, how raunchy they going to be and everything. And then so when it seemed like, oh, they're not going to be that raunchy. And then that's why when they announced Herogasm, because I think they realized that, hey, look, we're getting to season 3. We're going for it. You want us to go for it and stuff. So that's what the thing is going to be, how far they're going to. Now, last thing I'll say is that I thought that I heard rumor and that they were going to do an actual Herogasm. They were going to do it as a spinoff. Right, so season 3 would have just been season 3 of The Boys, but then you heard, and I think Sean heard it, that there's an actual cartoon.
There's going to be an
Animated, yeah, I saw
series
this, yeah.
on Amazon Prime, but it's going to be not directly aimed at the main cast. I think it's going to be episodic episodes that are Looney Tune-esque, but a lot more violent and gory. There's a teaser for a new one coming out.
Again, opening up the world, right? So that way, you get to see.
You understand what's going on and how kind of fucked this whole situation is.
Yeah.
I mean, Homelander's so distinct. I love how he starts off. His cape's even the American flag. He's the typical American hero. But then you see by the end, he's a bit of a... No, he's pretty much the most psychotic one of them all.
He's going to snap. He's going to snap
Oh, yeah.
soon. It's gonna happen.
I mean, we saw he doesn't care about killing kids. He'll do that just cause.
And I forgot the actor's name, but he was in Banshee, and he was amazing in Banshee.
I was going to ask you about.
Oh, he does so well in the part.
Anthony,
If you see pictures of him on Wikipedia or just in his normal they've clearly tried to give him the whole big jawline, smiley blonde look about him.
Yeah.
Who are the cast? Anybody that we know from other shows?
Carl Urban.
Yeah, Carl Urban is the most famous.
He's got a good quote, but I don't think I can say it here.
He's playing the leader of the Boys. So the Boys actually is kind of like they're kind of like a black suited. They're not a Gestapo, but they try to keep the heroes in line because the heroes are out of control, and everything. So they work for kind of like a secret government kind of thing, and everything.
I don't even
So
know if
they are the Boys.
Government? I mean,
He's
got government connections. He's got government connections.
Yeah, but Mallory is government.
They were government,
Mallory's
but
government.
an incident happened where they were like, yo, you can't do this anymore, so the boys are on their own.
Yeah, basically. And one of them, who's not even a boy, does have superpowers but doesn't talk.
The girl.
Female.
Oh, the female. Yeah, the female.
Best character.
Yeah.
So freaking violent, but they all are. So
yeah.
Also, the fact that he beat spoiler alert, that he beat up thingy Haley Joel Osment's character.
Right.
Basically, you think of the kid from Sixth Sense getting his head beaten by the guy from Lord of the Rings.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
I remember that scene.
Oh, I mean, holy shit.
Yeah.
He did betray them, so
Yeah. Well, I mean, it is again I don't even know why you would attempt to do this book and not do it fully, but again, the guy playing the black guy, Mother's Milk.
Yeah.
Like in the comic, right? he actually has super strength that he gets from drinking his mother's milk.
Oh,
Weird.
He has to take it or he will die.
I feel like
he will die.
I think there is an anime with that kind of superpower.
I mean, I'm just saying. I'm saying, when you want to see that? He's just now a guy. He's just like a big guy, whatever.
Will they actually do
you say that, but
What?
will they actually do that?
They haven't done it. That's what I'm trying to say.
No, but I think will they in season 3? Because I think he was drinking milk in one episode, and I'm like,
okay.
is this actually gonna happen? 'Cause he got
Homelander was drinking breast milk at one point.
Oh, but see, they make
that's
it
weird.
No, but
That is very fucking
wait.
weird.
They make it.
There was no power
they make
involved
it a
in
big
that.
point that Homelander, he doesn't like get power from it, but he gets excited from drinking breast milk. But that was what.
I think
gave
he's just got mommy
his
issues.
power
A lot of
and
mommy
everything.
issues.
So I'm just trying to say
Oh,
they might not have to
absolutely.
do it with MM because that they did that, and everything. Oh, wait a minute. Okay, I got to do this.
Next
I just got
homework.
to do this. The what's the fish guy called?
Fish guy. Oh,
Chase Crawford, but
the Deep.
the Deep.
Yeah.
Not the man from Atlantis.
No.
Whole different man from
gets-
Atlantis.
So reason why you got to watch this, he gets finger raped by this girl.
Oh boy!
Right in the gills.
So he has gills.
I mean that literally.
He has gills in his stomach,
Yeah.
right? And so she's like, yeah, I know who you are. He's like, yeah, what are you doing? And she just like,
It's like when I was watching it, I was like, oh, this is.
it's just like, what kind of show are we watching?
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't
This
wish
is a
that
superhero
anyone, not
show.
even him.
And yeah, it was sad because he was such a good actor. Anyway,
Where can we see these shows?
Amazon
right.
Prime.
Amazon
Amazon Prime, bro,
Thank you.
and
that's
see
for the boys.
Yeah,
and also Herogasm, is that on there as well?
Well, yeah,
Not yet.
yeah.
I mean, I am
Hellgasm's
curious. I am
supposedly
curious
the
to
end of
see how they make a whole spin-off show based on that one scene that we saw in the first episode.
I don't know. Well, that's what we have to watch. But that's coming out soon, I think, right? Next month, isn't it? Anybody? Okay, I think it is coming out next month.
Defo in 2022.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Also, we've only had a teaser so far for season 3, so.
It's in June.
In June.
June, thank you,
Blake. All right, the voice from nowhere. So anyway, just so Phil has something to say because he's like going, oh, you guys all right. We figured we'll attack another Disney Plus show and everything, and we'll talk about Get Back.
Okay, well, maybe. I mean, as a Liverpool outsider myself, I've always been interested.
Who was a big lover of music?
Yeah, and always been interested on the impact that they had on people that have grown up within it, sort of thing, and around it. But for me, it was a revisiting of something that I grew up with in my boyhood. I mean, I went to see a Hard Day's Night with my mum when I was 5 years old, so I literally grew up with it, and it was a big part of my life.
So what about because we keep talking about the creative process. Like, I mean, watching them create songs that we know became huge hits, but at the point in time that they're doing it,
That's right.
they're struggling with the notes.
That's right.
or with the words,
In the
you know,
moments,
and
in the
like, I
moments.
mean, something, you
That's
know,
right.
like, I mean, like George Harrison doesn't have many songs.
That's right.
And everything, but then when he's I'm thinking about, this was right before he walks out on the Beatles,
Yes.
and everything like that. I'm thinking about this song, and and everything, and I'm like, like, please play it, you know what I mean?
That's
and
right.
it's like, to me, I was just like, as a creative person,
Mm-hmm.
you don't get to see that because it's like cameras all over the place.
Correct.
The Beatles are not even paying attention because they've been in that studio for 30 days,
Yes,
whatever,
that's right.
and everything, and they're just doing what they do.
That's right. And
You know?
McCartney, it's just flowing through him, constantly flowing through him. It appears to me, on having seen this now, it's a long watch. There are 3 movies of movie length or long movie
it's
length.
a
about
three
8
it's a
hours,
3
I think.
episode mini
Yeah,
series.
about 8 hours overall, but it's just constantly flowing through him all the time. And I think it was Get Back, the song itself, just appeared out of nowhere on camera. And as you say, Chase, that's something we'd never see. You know,
No.
If we don't experience it ourselves, then it's just fascinating to watch that process.
But what about the Billy Preston moment?
The Billy Preston moment was absolutely key to me because they were getting completely fed up with each other by this point, and it was probably about a
They
third of
hated
the way
each other.
through. About a third of the way through the actual whole process, I would say, roughly, I would say it was. And Billy Preston turned up. He'd been a friend of theirs because he'd played with I think it was Little Richard who they'd also appeared with in Hamburg, so they knew him from the fairly recent past, and he just turned up, and they said, "Come on in and join in, and let's see what happens." And the whole mood changed in that instant. It changed.
But it also was the fact that like they didn't. The Beatles was fantastic. We see them playing all kind of instruments, right? They were that prolific. I mean, these guys knew each other since they were like 13.
That's right.
Right? And like there was nothing about no teacher teaching them instruments or anything like that.
That's right.
So they knew how to play everything, but they didn't know how to play the electric piano.
No, that's what it was.
Not true. No, that's what it was.
No.
He said
organ, I would say, because we've
Well,
seen
okay.
There's footage from Shea Stadium of Lennon playing electric piano.
Is this then? Because that's why they brought Billy in, because
He plays organ. That's a different
well.
animal. That's a different
okay,
animal.
bro.
He plays Hammond.
All
That's
right.
a different animal, you know.
But whatever he was playing.
Yeah.
They didn't know how to play.
That's correct. Yeah.
And
that's
everything.
Right.
And so they asked him, could he play it?
Yes.
So this was supposed to be, I'm just hanging out for the day, guys. And then he's there for fucking like.
Oh, he's there. Then that's.
I'm
it.
like, please pay that, brother.
Absolutely. but also, thank you, Billy, because the mood lifts. All of a sudden, they're not bitching at each other. They're actually laughing. Everybody's laughing all of a sudden when this fifth guy walks into the studio, joins in, lifts the whole mood, and it just takes off from there in a majorly positive way for me. I thought it was just a wonderful change.
The real fifth Beatle.
Change of gear. Real change of gear. That's right, yeah.
Now, you guys, I know you're young and you probably, had Beatles playing in your house and wasn't really that important to you, but you're, as Liverpoolians, you would notice. But, to watch this documentary probably is not on your wish list, but, I mean, would you, watch it? Because for me, it totally changed me around. I was always a fan anyway, but I was a nonchalant fan that didn't care until I saw that documentary. I mean, what do you guys think?
Well, I live by most of the Beatles stuff anyway. So, Strawberry Fields is 2 minutes away from mine. So I'm kind of really big on the Beatles, and it's on my wish list. It's just I haven't had the time to watch it.
Cool, yeah.
But I do want to watch it.
It's a commitment. It's a commitment. It really is. Yeah. But also, there's something else about it in that. There was a cinema release of this footage in round about 1971.
Are you talking about the Let It Be documentary?
Yeah, which was called Let It Be at the time. But the editing of that film, it was edited down into about an hour and a half.
It was made by the same director.
Correct.
Right, yeah.
But edited completely differently. And you get a completely different impression of their time together in the studio during that process than you do from Get Back. It's a completely different scenario.
Yeah, because this was the Get Back was all the nuts and bolts. I mean, there was a lot of bitching and whining, even to the director and stuff like that. Or and Beatles, as most artists, they asked for everything and demanded everything, But the Let It Be documentary was just let's just get something out that's positive, fit the music. We know that's successful, and bang, and everything like that. So that was really interesting.
I think it left a sour impression personally, and I think that this expands on what was really happening.
Yeah,
and all those impressions you got from the original film are completely dispelled by this documentary. They really are much more positive. There was vilification of Yoko Ono, for God's sake, and you can see in this documentary.
Oh my God, what was that screaming?
They don't resent her though. They don't resent her.
No, they didn't resent her. But come on, dude.
But that was pitched at the time,
Phil, you're in a band.
I am.
So I mean, let's get real, bro. No girls in the fucking room, dude.
Not unless
dude, why should I have to tell you?
Not unless they're on
Not should I
BB's,
tell you, man.
Not
No
unless
girls
they're
in
on.
the room, bro.
Whoa, what
I'm
about
sorry.
me?
I'm sorry, Faye.
Whoa.
But we hanging, girl.
I know, what are you joking?
And Yoko's just sitting there, and John is like, that's his comfort blanket, obviously. But it's like,
yes,
dude.
And
so even Paul knew, you can't talk about Yoko, man. Like those private conversations where they had to just had the camera in the room shooting flowers.
That's right.
And stuff where you could hear them actually saying
that was
stuff.
fascinating, though. Wow.
But then when they went to George's house to try and convince him to come back after he quit, but they took the girls. That's why he said, no, fuck off. You know what I mean? No girls, bro.
He did.
No girls in the clubhouse.
That's right.
Anyway, moving on.
Fascinating, well worth a look.
Yeah. And that's on Netflix, isn't it?
No, that's on
Disney.
Disney Plus.
Disney Plus.
Yeah.
Disney Plus.
Yeah.
Disney
thanks.
Plus.
All right. So now we're into the anime section and everything. Now, our young bloods here are going to tell me that you don't know nothing about anime because that's not anime. But I say into the cartoon section of the show, we're going to talk about Arcane. Go for you two.
Arcane is not an anime.
All right. I
It
just
is a
said it.
cartoon.
I mean, I'm surprised we still have to establish that. At this
We
point,
have said
yeah.
this numerous times. Sorry, I'm going to be one of those people today.
Confused.com.
Aye. Anyway, so
Looks like
obviously-
anime to me.
Yeah, it's not.
Okay.
I mean, you have to look close to know, but it's not. It's not. It doesn't even look anime inspired. That's the weird thing. I mean, Avatar: The Last Airbender. That's obviously anime inspired, and other stuff that's been on Netflix now, which I probably still need to see. Obviously, anime inspired, but inspired.
Whatever.
But anyway,
Back to Arcane.
speaking of the animation, though, first of all, I've got to say it's fucking amazing. I mean,
Beautiful.
the way it blends both 3D graphics with 2D color palettes is just unbelievable.
Also, the story, I've never played League of Legends.
Oh yeah, it's based on
in
the
my
League
life.
of Legends. Obviously, I was going to say apparently. It's literally in the title.
It's based off of League of Legends.
It's literally in
yeah.
the title, yeah. But you don't need to. You definitely don't need to have played it to enjoy the series. I mean, just the way it starts off with these characters. Obviously, it's one of those. It seems to start off typical, like with the whole slums versus the
Oliver
versus
Twist.
the
It starts
rich
out
and-
like Oliver Twist.
Is it really? Oh, yeah.
I guess, yeah.
Interesting,
More
yeah.
like, I don't know, like people who come from a poorer background are kind of like, yo, can you actually like help us out instead of just helping the rich and looking out for yourself? It's
And they're basically like, oh,
a
commoners.
big riot starts at the beginning, and then you have your two main characters, Vi and Powder, who will become Jinx later. But it's basically their mum dies, and this guy, is it Vander?
Yeah, I
Who
believe so.
takes them in. Yeah,
Yeah.
the big guy takes them in and raises the kids. And it's this whole... The words can't express how much like I love this show and how it writes its characters. It literally makes really good writing of
Oh, yeah.
fathers. Like, I've never seen a show that's done that kind of like side with writing about fathers with relationships to
Wow.
kids.
Wow.
It's really well done, and every episode there's no filler. Everything is important to the
Oh
story.
yeah. I mean, even the villain himself, like, he's not.
Silco.
Sorry,
Silco.
Silco. Yeah, I mean,
Beautiful.
I was. It's probably because I've only seen it once at the moment, but his whole goal wasn't too clear to me. I mean, it was something about getting power. Obviously, it's usually about, but it wasn't straight up want to take over the world. I mean, even though he is manipulative,
I want to take over the world.
he and obviously he doesn't tell Jinx that it was him who he's the reason Xander's dead. But that being said, he does clearly care about her, which makes him a much more complex villain.
Yeah, like the thing with Silco is he wants to be on top with the rich people. He wants power. That's what he wants. And his brother, I've forgotten his name, Vander, wants something else. And it's like this clashing thing. But then Vander passes away.
The problem is he doesn't like he's been through that much. He doesn't care who he's got to hurt to get there.
Yeah,
Right.
and Vander did try to kill his brother, so he's got this kind of scar on his eye, and that changed him into who he is today.
So
I
where's
mean that stuff with the needle in the eye is always really shuddering. He's got to take it. I don't know why he takes it. Actually, does it ever explain?
Yeah,
Is it a drug or is it just medicine?
it's a drug and a medicine, I think, to make him stronger.
Oh yeah.
Well, for people like me that know nothing about it, give us a bit more of a background where it's coming from. Is it set in the Far East? In Japan,
Hard to say.
or-
It's definitely got a steampunk feel to it.
Yeah,
Hasn't
like
it?
a
Yeah, Victorian
Yeah.
steampunk.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
Right. Cool.
Yeah, I mean,
And is it produced out in Hollywood, or where do you know
It's
produced?
made
it's
by-
Netflix, so it's
Oh, right, okay,
it's
so Netflix originals,
I mean,
yeah.
Netflix have money, we
Yeah.
know that, because they
Yeah,
keep
yeah.
putting their fucking prices up.
Yeah, you said that last week.
Yeah, I know. I'm not going to stop saying it because they keep fucking doing it, and I'm going to delete my account if they keep doing it.
It's
No,
made
you're
by the same people who make League of Legends as well.
Right.
So it's kind of got like references to the game, but it's set in the past before the main story in the game. So
right.
anyone can watch it. Like, I don't care about League of Legends. I'm never going to play
No.
it, but that story is just...
Yeah.
When the MMO comes out, I might
Cool.
give that a go because
Cool.
I tend to like that sort of thing. Not religiously like some people, but I'll definitely check it out. But I'm trying to think what else to say about it that we haven't, because there's
I think
so much to talk about, and yet I
yeah.
don't know where to start.
The main story is about the relationship of Jinx and Vi. That's the main story.
Oh yeah, I was going to say actually, yeah, the psychological elements of Jinx that you see her growing up, because obviously the last time she saw her sister, she was basically she looked up to her so much, and yet the last time she saw her, she was like, "It's all your fault. They're dead. You really are a Jinx." It's basically everything you really shouldn't be telling to a younger sibling.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
And so she grows up both resenting. Mostly resenting herself. I think that's indicated by all the voices she hears from the friends that died because of her.
Yeah, there's like a big plot point where she makes these like bomb things and they never work. Everything she does either messes the team up or doesn't work. So she's called a Jinx by everyone in the team.
Right.
This
Except her sister.
Yeah, this kind of gives her a bit of issues, and obviously with stuff that's been going on in
but the bomb
story.
thing is her superpower, isn't it?
Yeah, but it doesn't work when she's a kid, and the day it works is when she kills her two kind of like adopted brothers, injures her sister, and Vanda is pretty much killed because of Jinx. And because of Jinx's actions, her two friends are dead, her father figure's dead, and her sister hates her. Even though she doesn't, but she says some really nasty stuff before she disappears.
In that particular moment, you're going to say a lot of things you wish you hadn't. And I mean, she immediately wants to go back, but then she's taken by the military, isn't she?
Heavy stuff.
Heavy stuff in an anime. Cartoon.
A cartoon, and I will fight you on this, Chase.
Oh.
He just starts lighting that blue touch paper and retiring.
What about Dota Dragon Blood? Is that an anime?
What's that from?
It's from Netflix.
Yeah, it's in anime style. Castlevania as well is obviously done in anime style. It's even got a Japanese dubbing to it because they like it the way it's done. But it's not. I wouldn't say it's official anime because it's not actually Japanese.
Yeah. Okay.
And anime is literally Japanese for animation, so that's
okay.
It's basically referring to animation that is from Japan.
Yeah, I thought it was called Japanimation. Me.
You've certainly piqued
I will
my
fight
interest.
you.
It sounds really interesting.
It's really cool.
All right. So our final section we come down to is called box sets and everything. And so in this, we were gonna do one, and then again Phil read the memo, so we had to do another one the last minute.
There's a lot of fucking TV to watch. I'm sorry.
It is.
And I will say I already
But you know what?
today.
This happens to be one of my favorite shows. Phil didn't like it, and that is Lost.
Yeah.
Now I remember actually going on holiday once and taking my box sets, and I took my box sets of Lost because I was bored.
Did you have a portable DVD player as well?
Yeah, man, that's my laptop. You know what I mean? But then, like, the whole thing about it was, it's just that I love this show. So, Phil, where did the show jump the shark for you that you didn't like it?
I gave it a go. I hadn't watched it back in the day.
No.
Although a lot of people that I knew at the time.
A lot of people figured out the plot after the first episode, and then
I can't say
they spent 6 years telling us, no, you're wrong, and then they say, okay, you're right.
Oh no, really? Okay. Well, the first act I thought was really impressively done.
Yeah,
really
it was
impressively done, and did grab my attention to start with, but it got a bit cliched for me very quickly, really, and I just thought, oh, I'm sorry, I can't sit through God knows how many episodes, seasons of this. I can't do it, you know.
What I didn't like Damon Lindelof. I mean, he's like the pure genius of the Abrams Lindelof team, and stuff like that. You know, throwing Carlton Cruise and stuff like that. You know, these are guys who be producing stuff. But like, there was so many things that were thrown into that beginning that they didn't pay off. Oh. Polar bears. What the fuck?
Wait, there was polar bears?
Yeah,
on an island.
Yeah.
Polar bears on a desert fucking.
Oh, I'm sorry, we still haven't seen it yet.
On an island that's
I tried.
between Australia and the States.
Yeah, come on.
Well,
Really? That's
Either way, polar bears. The smoke monster was turned into.
Whoa, no spoilers.
Okay, fine.
It's been out for years. I
I
think
know,
everyone
but
knows how this ends.
Come on.
I know, but have some dignity for people.
This show, like what it did was what I thought was really interesting. I think it was season 3 where the others were introduced, and it's like one of those things like with writing where you just take a word and it could mean so many different things. So the others were like these people who were in the tail section of the plane, and they landed on the other side of the island.
Okay.
So like we were following this first group of people.
There's a reference very early on in about the third or fourth.
We're following
episode.
this, yeah.
So where did the tail section end up? You just don't know who might be there. That sort of
Exactly.
thing.
But then it's like, you know, who are the others, where are the others, and all of this other kind of stuff. Because there were already people that were already on the island.
Mm-hmm.
So you had the others, and then you had probably like the inlanders or whatever, the people who were already there and stuff like that. So what they managed to do each season was create new baddies and new conflicts, which you couldn't do that, like, say, with Gilligan's Island.
Yeah.
Gilligan's Island, the castaways ends up on the island, and they got nothing to do, and it always has to be somebody comes to the island and leaves them behind. And it's just like, come on, man. Take them. Why is everybody such a bonehead? What's happening? If you ever watch Gilligan's Island, that's what you always said. But here on this island, there was all these kind of other crazy dangers and all of that kind of stuff. And then they threw in science, magic, time travel, hatches. You're like, what the hell is going on?
As you do when you've got nothing left.
Yeah, I mean, like,
writing.
I mean, did you see anything of this?
I've tried to get into it, but I got to a point where I was like, okay, this is purgatory. I'm out. Bye, guys. I hate
she
those
just
kind of
ruined
stories.
it. I did not, Sean.
It's been out for everyone knows it's set in purgatory.
You couldn't even have that much respect for me.
I know.
Sorry.
Hey,
It's about
time travel.
15 years, I think.
Yeah,
Is that
15.
Right? 15 years ago.
I don't
The
think
Dahmer Initiative, that was really cool, and everything like that. But ghosts, people's psychological past would show up. All this kind of crazy stuff that was happening. But I mean, like, I thought the most interesting character was Dexter, the guy who who was in the hatch, and he was the one who was like traveling through time and doing all this thing.
Was he the one with the curly hair?
Yeah, the long hair.
Oh, okay,
yeah. And stuff like that. And he was the one who had to push the button.
Ah, okay.
He had to push the button every 60 minutes or the world would end. And everything and stuff like that. So it's kind of like when the others end up down in the hatch, he's like, oh, I'm getting out of here, brother. Because he got this kind of crazy Australian accent. And then he's like, what do you got to do? He's like, you got to keep pressing the button, right? So he tells, like, Locke, the main man, you got to keep pressing the button. And then at one point, Locke decides, I'm not going to press that damn button. And then everything goes... Now, instead of the world ending, it's like some kind of crazy light flashing, and then we travel through time. This is a great show. I think it's just
So
madness.
Bizarre.
I don't know who could give up on this show.
Bizarre.
It just went from crazy to crazy, bro. It went sideways. It went to different timelines.
Was there any payoff in the end?
So. Sean didn't want me to tell you about
Oh,
the smoke monster.
we can't. Sorry.
Sean didn't want me to tell you about the smoke monster, but then it turns out there's these two brothers. You know what I mean? One good, one evil, and stuff like that. And what the fuck? You know what I mean? And they lived for years, and it was like they played chess with each other. It's like they would play chess with people's lives. So people would end up on the island. They become like chess pieces on the board and everything. So the payoff was that the supposed good brother Jacob was looking for someone to take his place.
Okay.
And everything. So the main good guy Jack, played by the handsome guy, not Sawyer. Sawyer was a real handsome guy.
The
right?
doctor, yeah.
The doctor, Jack,
yeah.
and everything. Like he was the one who was supposed to like take his place, and everything. But the first episode opens with Jack opening his eye, and then in the end, it's supposed to end with Jack closing his eye. But then they had to give us more shit, and that was when all the lost passengers ended up in purgatory. They ended up in some church, and it was like, and the show about time travel. They all had to wait until the last person came, so they could all go home together and stuff like that, which was kind of like nice and everything.
Yeah.
But I thought Lost was a really good show. But I think the reason why they called it Lost is because we're all lost. What the hell is going on?
I suppose because they're all losers.
Yeah, okay, well,
Lost because you don't know
your
what's
mind.
going on.
In your mind.
Sorry, I just can't.
But I would just say, reason why I call it Session box sets is because, I really recommend this as a box set. I actually was able, even years after, I got over how disappointed I was to the end and everything. You can actually sit down and watch, any particular season.
Right.
I think.
In isolation, sort of thing.
Yeah,
Right.
as a box set.
Right.
You can sit down and watch.
Right.
And everything. And so that would be my recommendation of Lost. Where's Lost playing that? You said it was playing on something?
Amazon Prime.
It's free on Prime, yeah.
Amazon Prime.
Yeah.
So you can watch it for free on Amazon Prime.
Yeah.
And everything. So anyway, so that brings us to the end, people. You know, I mean, this has been another good show, TV Squad.
Yeah.
And like I said, you know, like you can always tell us, like, without Discord and our Patreon, what we hope to do is break down particular shows. I mean, Sean is always like, oh, I want to just break that show down. I want to just break that show down, like Firefly or Prisoner or something like that. You know, and everything. You know, let us know what you enjoyed, what you watched, and everything. And maybe you want to watch Lost with me. What else we got to do?
Awesome.
Get back, get lost. I don't go.
Well done, everybody.
So I want to thank Sean.
Yeah. Awesome.
Lovely Faye.
Yeah. Welcome, Faye.
Thank you.
Good to have you on board.
My man Phil.
Thank you, man.
Bye.
See you soon.
And myself.
Hey.
Hey. Oh, wait. One more thank you. Our Paula's.
Oh, Paula.
Dude, it's made out of plants.
What?